Hello and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation with me, your host Owen, channel that brings you your team every single day, the channel that brings you free content on Glasgow Rangers. Guys, if you don't want to miss out on that free content, then please hit that sub, ring that notification bell. If you can give the video a like, guys, it does help out. So we've got a few things to talk over, obviously, after the game the other night, building up towards the game on Saturday against Hoffenheim. Rangers go into that game needing something. I think, I don't think you can really go into a game, go into the season having lost 3 out of your 4 pre-season. Yes, it's only pre-season, but you know what? You need to build confidence, and unfortunately, winning is a habit, which is a good thing. But also, unfortunately, losing is a habit as well, and that's certainly a habit we don't want to get into. We're going to talk a little bit about a possible defensive link to the club. I'm going to talk as well about the forward line and how the pressure is only really on 3 of those forwards that has been signed this summer. We'll talk about the Rangers Celtic ticketing fiasco that is ongoing, mainly caused by that lot from across the city being truly pathetic yet again. A bit of a toys out the pram moment, I think, and a bit of a toddler stomp, but what do you expect from that lot? Also, we'll talk a bit about wingers as well, and the need for wingers, and do we need wingers, and have we got wingers at the club? Very much going to look at that too. Okay, we're going to start off by looking at Auston Trusty. Auston Trusty, who is the defender from Arsenal. Now, in yesterday's video, I spoke to you about 3 possible central defensive targets that Rangers could go for: Charlie Cresswell from Leeds, Auston Trusty from Arsenal, and Jonathan Panzo from Nottingham Forest. Obviously, he spent that, hence why he's in that horrible sky blue kit, was because he spent last season on loan at Coventry City. Auston Trusty is currently away with Arsenal in America, and apparently played his part in Arsenal's 5-3 friendly victory over Barcelona last night. A very, very good result for Arsenal. The first time they've actually beaten Barcelona in, well, a long time. Auston Trusty is the kind of defender that Rangers, I think, really do need. He's the kind of defender who, honestly, I think could make a difference to this team. He's quick. He reads the game well. He's aggressive in the tackle. He had a season last year with Birmingham City where he looked very convincing indeed. Yes, it was only Birmingham City. Yes, it was only the Championship, but still, he did look very good. Auston Trusty also could fill a number of roles for Rangers. Not only can he play centre-back, and he can play right-sided centre-back and left-sided centre-back. God, that's not easy to say after a long day at work. He can also play left-back. Now, broken down by position, yes, he has played the majority of his games at centre-back. He has played 179 games at centre-back, scoring 7 goals and contributing 3 assists. At left-back, he has played a number of games at left-back, only 16, contributing 1 assist. Now, like I said, that is something we do need. We do need a left-sided centre-back. Ben Davies, for me, is just not good enough. He just does not cut it at this level. He's not good enough in the air. His clearances are a bit all over the place. He just doesn't have the physical aggression I think you need to play in Scotland. He's decent on the ball, but at times even his distribution lets him down. I do think, that if we could get an English Championship club interested in him and move him on, that would be a very positive move for the club. And someone like Auston Trusty would be an excellent signing. Someone I think could really do a job at centre half, and also I think mature into being a very fine player indeed. Trusty is a quality player. Now, he came from Colorado Rapids to Arsenal. He's also played for Philadelphia Union as well in the United States of America. So he has MLS experience. He's never actually played a official first team game for Arsenal, as you can see from those stats. Look at those stats by club: 62 appearances, 2 goals for Philadelphia Union, 61 appearances, 1 goal, 1 assist for Colorado Rapids. 48 appearances, 4 goals, 2 assists for Birmingham. That was last season. 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 goal contributions from centre half. Not bad at all. Also 45 appearances for Philadelphia Union's second team. That's their youth setup in the United States of America. So, Trusty is certainly someone I think is a good player and could do a really good job for us. He's 6'3" as well, so he's not small. He's a big guy. He's a physical guy, and he's certainly what we need at the back. And I'd much prefer Rangers to go out and sign someone like Auston Trusty rather than someone like Jonathan Panzo. Panzo to me looks like he's got a mistake in him, can be rash at times, and surely that's what we don't want that anymore, because Ben Davis, like I said, makes mistakes, has a mistake in him, looks like a bomb scare at times. By the same token, the Borna Barisic who plays outside him does as well. Now, I personally would like to see Rangers move both of those two on. I think we could generate some revenue for both of them and then use that to reinvest into the squad. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has been talking about Arsenal and the possible fact that Arsenal will see exits now once they return to England. The former Rangers midfielder was speaking after Arsenal's 5-3 pre-season friendly win over Los Angeles, where Trusty was involved. He is obviously looking to build a squad with Arsenal, but he does know that he needs to trim the squad. There is obviously a huge link there between Rangers and Auston Trusty. The 24-year-old USA international is apparently Rangers' number one choice as a left-sided centre-back option for next season. Mikel Arteta said after the game with Barcelona that we have 30 players here, which is unsustainable. Obviously, the market is still open. Things can happen. We are prepared. I'm really happy with the squad at the moment. We have improvements to make in terms of what we want to do in games, and we still have to do that. Overall, really pleased with the team. Yes, Rangers have signed officially 7 players. That should climb to 9 over the next week or so, with the arrivals of Danilo and Cifuentes. The only defender we've signed is Leon Balogun, which was, I don't know, a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction, I think, to the Leon King injury. I think, had Leon King been okay and come through that training camp in Germany, would Balogun have been signed? I'd probably say not. And the fact that obviously Leon King's injury is not as bad as first feared as well kind of does call into question that move for Balogun. Trusty for me is the sort of player we do need to get involved with, the player we do need to bring in. He was voted Fans Player of the Year at St Andrews, showing his commitment. And, when fans are voting for you as a player of the year, that is a pretty good testimony for me. The sort of player that is fully committed, that is, always going to give you of his best, that, fans don't tend to vote for rubbish players, do they, as their player of the season? So for me, that's a good shout for him. Another good shout for him, another good reference for him. Trusty is someone I would love to see come in to Rangers. I'd love to know what you think in the comments below. I do feel we do need a centre-back. I do feel we do need a bit more quality in those centre-back positions. If you look at the current centre-backs that Rangers have at the club, and I've used this slide before, I know, but you've got obviously Suter, Goldson, Davis, and Leon King, probably with Balogun. This was obviously made before Balogun signed. Balogun as well. So you've got 5 centre halves there. Johnny Yefeko, who can come in as well. So you've got possibly 6 centre halves. Now you would argue that bringing in a 7th would be a mistake, but you look at those 6th, and outside of Goldson and Suter, is there enough quality there? Yes, there's a lot of numbers, but it doesn't necessarily mean there's enough quality, and that for me is what's missing. Rangers need to make sure that we don't have repeat of last season when we did suffer when Connor Goldson went out injured. I know a lot of you don't rate Connor Goldson, and look, we're all entitled to our opinions. Football is a game of opinions, but Connor Goldson for me is an excellent organizer. He's a good communicator. Yes, he does make a few mistakes, but you know what? If he didn't make those mistakes, he'd be playing at the top end of the English Premier League. But statistically, we can see twice as many goals when he's not there. So realistically, going into the new season, Goldson and Suter should be our starting pairing. They are the best two. Suter has looked superb in pre-season and towards the end of last season as well. But for me, we do need a bit more quality. Would you say that Ben Davis is quality? No, you wouldn't. Would you say that Leon Balogun is good enough to come in and cover on a regular basis? Probably not. Is Leon King ready? He's 19 years old. We saw last year in the Champions League, and we saw some performances, that weren't great by him. You look at that and you think we need a little bit more strength in depth. Johnny Yefeko didn't look brilliant, against Olympiacos, and again, he's more of a left back. Listening to what the Heart and Hand B team guys were saying about the fact they felt he's, not ready for first team football. So we do need, I think, some real quality backup, and I would love to see Rangers take a punt and get out there and try and bring in Auston Trusty from Arsenal. Okay, so let's talk about the Old Firm game. Now, Rangers fans obviously were not at Parkhead for the last Old Firm game. They were excluded the same way that Celtic fans were not at Ibrox for the final Old Firm game of the season. Rangers, however, are going to demand for the forthcoming season, Celtic honour the league obligation to provide tickets for the Old Firm fixtures. Now, Celtic have said that they will turn down tickets for the Ibrox clash in September. They will reject the chance to take around 700 seats for the first derby of the season, following talks with fan groups in recent days. Celtic have expressed concerns over safety and access arrangements for the Ibrox fixtures. But Rangers have repeatedly made similar points in their discussions with their Glasgow counterparts. Talks between the two clubs are ongoing regarding the match on Sunday, the September the 3rd, that will see Celtic travel across the city with Brendan Rodgers as manager for the first time since he succeeded Ange Postecoglou. This to me, again, look, Celtic are saying it's to do with organisation, it's to do with safety. It's absolute rubbish. It's nothing to do with that at all. It's to do with the fact that they want the whole of the Broom loan. They want, to take over the whole of one end. They don't see why they shouldn't be allowed. They've got so used to getting exactly what they want when they want in Scottish football. They've got so used to everyone in the SFA and other clubs rolling up and over and letting Celtic tickle their bellies that now, because they're only been offered 700 tickets, they're throwing the toys out of the pram. They don't want that. They want what they want, and if they don't get what they want, they're not going to cooperate. It's a real toddler type behaviour from Celtic, but it's what we've come to expect from them. And they are absolutely, truly pathetic as a club. You look at the top clubs in England. You look at Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham, Newcastle United. You look at those clubs, and none of them behave with the same petulance and patheticness as Celtic do. Manchester United fans going to Anfield, Newcastle fans going to Sunderland, Manchester City and Manchester United fans. Look, I know there's not the same intensity in the derby that there is in the Old Firm. I get that 100%, but it's Celtic talk about being a big club. They talk about being a big European club, yet they behave like a non-league team in the way they conduct their business in terms of these ticketing arrangements, and they behave like a petulant child who is in the supermarket with his mum and doesn't get what he wants and has thrown himself on the ground and is having that toddler fit. And they're doing the same over the tickets. It's truly pathetic. Now, Rangers want to take up the 700 tickets or whatever it is they're offered for Parkhead. Celtic have an obligation to give them those tickets, even if they decide Celtic to be a bunch of very, very sore losers and not take up their tickets for the first Old Firm game at Ibrox. This is what has to happen. They have an obligation to do that. If they don't do that, then look, it's just yet more proof that they're not a big European club. They're not a big club. They are a very small-minded club that needs to think about how they conduct their business and how they do their business. It is absolutely disgusting, in my opinion. And look, I know as a Rangers fan, I'm going to say that, but it's awful. It's pathetic. It really is truly pathetic. It does remind me of one of my kids when they were 2-3 years old having a strop because they couldn't get what they wanted. Now, one of the talks that came out of the game on Wednesday night against Olympiacos was Rangers' lack of width at times. Now, lots of people have said since Ryan Kent left that Rangers haven't genuinely got any real wingers. They haven't got any people to play wide. They certainly haven't signed anyone. Now, Abdallah Sima, I suppose, arguably is the closest you've got to a wide man who can come in and play wide, who can play as a wide striker. He has done it for Slavia Prague. So he's certainly a player that could be used out wide. If we're going to go, say, 4-3-3 and play with two wingers and one through the up top, or even to go back to old-fashioned ways of playing 4-4-2 and play with two wide men. You could argue Sakala can play there, Matondo can play there, but Sakala prefers to cut in. He's not a great crosser of a ball. And Matondo is fairly average, isn't he? You look at the Rangers squad that we've got at present. Dow can play wide, but he's more of a sort of a wide midfielder than a winger. Um, you've got Lundstrom is not, Hadji isn't, Jack isn't, Davis isn't, Cantwell isn't a wide man. Cantwell used that wide is very ineffective. Kamara will be hopefully gone. Wright will hopefully be gone. Raskin, you can't play him out wide. Lowry is not a wide man. Bailey Rice is not a wide player. Going into the forwards, Dessers, not a wide player. Sam Lammers, not a wide player. Tom Lawrence can play wide, but he's more a attacking midfield player, stroke central midfield player. He's not really an out-and-out winger. If you look at it, yes, Matondo is, but he's not up to it. I don't think. I think he's a player we do need to badly ship on. Seamer can play there, so I suppose that gives us one. Roof isn't. Sakala can, but again, he's not a great crosser of the ball. McCausland, no. Lyle, no. Lovelace, no. So, there isn't really what I would say out-and-out wingers. Rangers, seem to want to play this box midfield, play with a very narrow diamond. Width is sort of provided by the fullbacks, Ridvan and Tav. But I think realistically, we need to develop some strategy for having wide men now, whether that's Seamer and another, Sakala maybe, or whoever, or even pushing Tav further up to play wide. We do need a plan B, I think, where we bring in some width. When that middle of the pitch gets congested, when teams put the low block on, we need some way to get in around the edges, get in around the sides. You need a plan B at times. Certainly with Cyril Dessers, you've got someone who's a good header of the ball. I think Danilo is too. Sam Lammers is a big guy as well. We do need to come up with a plan B. So we do need to find a strategy, I think, for developing some width. Now, whether that is going out and signing someone, who knows, further into the window, as we get towards the end of the window, once we've raised some more cash, maybe that is something they will do. But with the players we've got at this moment in time, we do need to sort of generate a way to play with a bit of width, I think, and have some wingers in the team, whether that's Seamer, Sakala, whoever. I do think that there is a need to do that. Tom Lawrence possibly out there. There is something that needs to be worked on by the club for definite for me. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, but it's certainly something that we need. Now, Rangers, obviously, we haven't yet signed Danilo, but it looks like it is a done deal. Again, it's going to be somewhere around about $5.5 million. We've spent a lot of money on these. Well, I'll rephrase that. We haven't spent a lot of money in modern football terms. In modern football terms, we haven't spent a massive fortune on Dessers, Lammers, and Danilo. In terms of Scottish football, in terms of Rangers, we have spent an awful lot of money. Now, these players have to work out. These players have to work as forwards. They have to get goals with at least 10 assists, possibly. Danilo, Dessers, 20 plus each. That's what we've got to be looking for. If it is a justification of this money being spent and these players are to prove themselves as being a success. Look, I know that Dessers needs time to get fully fit. He's not fully match fit at this moment in time. Lammers looks a class act, and Danilo hasn't yet joined. So Danilo will be playing catch up in terms of joining. His match fitness should be there because he's been playing for Feyenoord. But these are the players where the pressure is on with. You look at the likes of Butland, you look at the likes of Dowell. There's no pressure with those guys. They were free signings. They were free. So if Dowell doesn't work out to be great in the SPL or in Europe, well, we didn't pay anything for him. So what have we lost? Same with Butland. Whereas with these three, we have spent real serious money on them. So we do need to see a return on that. And I think this is something that Michael Beale is going to need to work on, how he incorporates those three into the team, how we use those three in the team, how we get the best out of those three to generate the most opportunities for Rangers. Because one of the things that was glaringly obvious again on Wednesday night is our inability to take chances. It held us back last season. There was a lot of, again, of you shoot, no, you shoot, no, you shoot. Oh, it's too late now. And that happened an awful lot last season as well. So for me, with these guys have got to hit the ground running. They've got to be getting goals. Michael Beale has, work to do. He said that, but he does have work on getting these three to gel once Danilo comes in, on getting these three to play as a trio, to score those goals, to take those shots, to take those chances. It's got to be done if we're going to be successful this season, if we're going to win 56, which I hope we will, with the squad we've got, if we're going to have a run in Europe, if we're going to win a cup. At very least, we do need these three to really hit the ground running. This is where the pressure's on for Michael Beale now with these three players. There's a lot of money gone into this. He's talked about the fact that he's tracked Lammers, Dessers for an awful long time. Danilo, again, we've gone in for time and time again. A lot of clubs would have walked away after the second bid was rejected, but Rangers went back again and again and again until they finally got their man. So there is, I think, a lot of pressure on Beale for these three guys to work out, and it's going to be down to him to get them to play and get them to be successful for the forthcoming season. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for this morning or this afternoon or this evening, whenever you are picking up this video here on Glasgow Rangers Nation. Please hit that sub, ring that notification bell. If you can give the video a like, I would appreciate it very, very much. As always, guys, I need you to do two things for me. Number one, smash that like. And number two, remember, we are the people.